Hey everybody, it's your old buddy Keith here on Tele Tuesday. We are looking at this 56 double bound custom here. I've told the story of the guitar before. I had a chance to buy it in 73 or 4. Anyway, my brother-in-law Mike wound up keeping it because I bought the Strat from him that he had at the same time, and sent it off to Honest Ron up in Oklahoma City. And what it got was a deluxe treatment. We got the double binding and the humbucker routed out. It's got shallers put on it. And like I said, it was just modernized. Of course, the jack is still having some problems. But if you could see, this is a 42-year-old lacquer finish. Not sure if you could see all the checking in it, but it is really something. This is what people strive for when they strive for a relic. Maybe not the gouges in the binding, but this is what a 42-year-old lacquer finish that's been on the road for a very long time. I'm pretty sure he used this one with David Allan Coe and various other artists that he worked with over the years. And it's, I should be more partial to it than I am, because, like I said, it was almost mine. It's a very nice guitar, but I'm probably going to wind up selling it. It needs some cleaning. I don't know how old these strings are. The pots are dirty. Switch is a little dirty. The jack is dirty, as you can hear, a little loose. It sounds good. Let me turn off the Hermida. There's the humbucker. There's the, both pickups. And there's the bridge pickup. And I never turn the tone down. I know a lot of people do. And, a lot of people dig having it all in their hands. And here's a tip, though. If you play with your amp all the way up and control the volume with the knob or volume pedal, if somebody's going to set in, let them know that ahead of time. From personal experience, it can be enlightening to have that just everything come on at 10. Because what I do, I just crank everything up, push the volume pedal, the pedal to the metal, and I think I'm ready to play at the same volume you were. But now all of a sudden I have, hurt people. So just let a guy know. That's kind of like putting a layer of cheese in your meatloaf. Tell somebody before they bite into it. Just a good thing to do if you like people at all. So anyway, we're just going to noodle around. I got a lot of yard work done over the weekend. Everything wound up squeezing a trigger, so my hands are a little sore. I don't know, I do like it. Now, I never really studied much on fenders, but this is a one-piece neck. I don't know if you know that. I don't. I think somebody builds them now. I don't know if Fender still does, but this is one piece. This is not an overlay fingerboard. This is it's one piece of wood. Got a hole in it for the truss rod. You can see the adjustment screw there, and a lot of people bitch and gripe about that, but I don't know. The bullets, what is it, the affinity or whatever. And they started doing it, I think, in the 70s, having the little truss rod stick out the end. I just didn't like the look. Now I've got a 66 Strat, with the big headstock. So it just doesn't seem as big until you got that bullet sticking out. And then there's just, I don't know. I like the smaller headstock on Strat. But, that 66 was my guitar for, I don't know. When did I start playing something else? I played some JB players in the late 80s, had a deal with them, and I don't know if you know this, but the girls from Vixen, the band, they were reps. I don't know if they all worked there, but I think I had 3 different ones that were reps, and they were real nice, and they still are, and I'm still Facebook acquaintances with Roxy, the drummer. She's very cool, and they're still out there playing. I went to a Washburn. When I had the store there, they had a deal on 6. It was 4 guitars and 2 basses, and I'll just say I never cared for the Washburn basses. I sold them off just a little above cost. If I don't like something, I just didn't like to carry it, and I would just mark it down and get rid of it. The one that I got was a G23, I think the model is. It came in. Now, remember, this is the late 80s. Everything had a pointy headstock. Fenders were out. Of course, Les Paul, Flying V, Explorer, all that was still cool. But you didn't see any Firebirds around. And what you saw were Charvels and Jacksons. So Washburn had this pointy headstock one, and it came in, and it had 3 single coils. What the hell am I going to do with 3 single coils? You can't sell a Strat these days, in the late 80s, because nobody in Whitesnake played one. So I thought, well, I'll just keep it for myself. And it was a set neck. It wasn't, a neck through like was real popular at the time. But, it was white. It had 3 single coils. And the next thing you know, Mike Myers is playing it on, the Wayne's World skits on Saturday Night Live. Now, I can't remember which way it is, because you could get it with a humbucker or 2 humbuckers, and a single in the middle. He had a humbucker in one, and I can't remember if the humbucker was on the skit and the 3 single coils like mine was in the movie, or the other way around. But anyway, apparently he had 2 of them. But there was a guy up there, if I went to order that model, because it had a Wonderbar tremolo. Well, I've still got it. It's still got a Wonderbar tremolo. When they told me they were going to stop making the Wonderbar, I ordered a dozen of them, so I would always have a spare. And I wound up selling all but one, and I wound up giving it to somebody not long ago, 20 years ago. So anyway, the Wonderbar to me was just amazing, and I played that white Washburn with Summer Breeze for, well, I think as long as I played with Summer Breeze. I might have had a JB player in there a little bit, the black one with a bolt-on neck, but that Washburn was just extremely fine guitar. And I was playing at the Wild Horse in Nashville when it opened. Had the house job there for about 5 months. We played the early shows like 5 to 8. Then we would pack up and drive to Murfreesboro and play 9 to 1 or 9:30 to 1:30, whatever it was. And the Washburn people came in, and they had a guy at the factory that was with them, and he was the guy that you could call up and say, hey, I want this, but I want these pickups or, this configuration. And he'd say, yeah, okay, no problem. And say, how long? He goes, 6 weeks. Well, a week and a half later, I'd have it every time. They were really good folks, and the president and the vice president, they were there, and they were amazed that I was still playing that guitar. So anyway, we had fun times. The Wild Horse was not so fun. It was fun for a month or so, and we were parking behind it on First Street there by the river. If you're from Nashville or familiar with Nashville, you know what I mean. And police came and said, well, you can't park there. Okay, if you park there, we're going to tow you. Okay, so we started parking under the building. And TNN, the Nashville network, came in after a few weeks or a month or whatever, and they said, you can't park there. That's our parking. But it's empty. You're not here. You're not filming on the nights that we play. Well, it's our parking. You can't park here. So anyway, wound up parking over where they park the trolleys for, I think, 50 cents, because even then it was $7, $8, $10 to park in a parking lot. Now, keep in mind, in Nashville, you might make $25 a night. I think we made 50 at the Wild Horse, but a lot of places would be 25. Places on Broadway, 25 for 4 hours, no breaks. At least at the Wild Horse we took breaks, and the crew were great. The employees, the bartenders, the waiters, the bouncers, they were not. You have to realize everybody in Nashville wants to be a star or thinks they already are. So if it's a guy parking, directing parking, he is in complete charge. Don't you know who I am? That kind of attitude. And they're restaurant people. They did not know how to deal with musicians. But the crew, and I point out the Starwood crew as probably the best I've ever worked with. The Billy Bob's crew, very, very good. Same problem with their bouncers and bartenders, but nice enough. But the Wild Horse, that was the worst bunch of employees. Now, like I said, the sound crew, lighting crew, buy them a drink. They were just fantastic. Now, this was in the early 90s, mid 90s when they first opened. So I don't know what they've done in the last 20, oh Lord, long time. Sometimes I forget how old I am, because, when you hit a certain age, everything you think was just not that long ago was 20, 30, 40 years ago. And, now it's like 45. So, anyway, stay young. Remember, the camera adds 100 pounds, and talk to you next time.